The need for the benefits to our nation was recognized and was attempted to be addressed in 1807, but due to governmental reluctance and war we didn't begin addressing the foundations of our nation's infrastructure until 1817. The winning argument that began our transportation revaluation was that the potential advantages to American business of such a system of internal improvements, to command a price, must not only be useful, but subject to demand. And the better means of commercial intercourse the larger sphere of demand. For the first time the country incurred debt as an investment in our country. The result of this decision was a massive combined effort of both government and private infrastructure development partnership, sparking the transportation revolution. On May 6, 1935, President Franklin D. Roosevelt began as an independent agency funded directly by Congress the WPA, Works Progress Administration. This was the federal government's most ambitious undertaking to provide employment for the jobless. This program combined with the other associated Federal One programs in art, music, theater, the health and retirement study, and the FWP pulled us out of the Depression by employing at its peak almost one-third of the nation's 10 million unemployed. This revolution, with the exception of recent years, has been a major driving force behind the prosperity of our great nation. Over the decades we built mainly avenues of transportation, canals, roads, bridges, dams, tunnels, harbors, the transcontinental rail system, the interstate highway system, and a robust aeronautical infrastructure. The collective total of these ever-expanding infrastructures facilitated the interconnectivity required to bring about the technical revaluation. Our next phase is obvious: high-speed rail, earth-to-space, and space-to-space infrastructures. Unfortunately, over the last few decades our government has lost sight of its role in the process and has manipulated, distorted, and corrupted this vital engine of growth and prosperity to point of actual digression. 2009 grades by the American Society of Civil Engineers of our infrastructure in 15 key areas, with a dismal C being our best rating and 11 receiving a D or worse. Everything is falling apart and unemployment is out of control. 10 generations of growth and prosperity being brought to brink of total collapse due to a generation of leaders who have lost all sight of what made this the greatest, most prosperous nation on earth. Our ranking on the world stage in every category is ever more rapidly descending. They have decided a deliberative, life-destroying, corrupt system deliberately sitting on money while millions go without work. The grim fact of it all is the delays in moving our country forward. It is stifled to the point of paralyzation. With their solution to this problem is to create a system where they simply arrest as many workers as they need for projects, most of which, not committing any real crime, to save money by enslaving the population, thereby alleviating them from the responsibility of paying for anything. This is not only inhumane, it will never work. With over 200 years of investment in hard labor, we are finally reaching the point in technological advancement that if handled intelligently we can complete the final pieces of infrastructure that can bring about the self-sustaining system we set as our original goal. We must change the way we prioritize the projects that do get done, the order they are addressed, and eliminating the ones that are deemed unnecessary. Our current system has more to do with who lives where, or runs what company, and offers bribes and bargaining chips to push through ridiculous legislation. This must be replaced with a system that prioritizes the projects according to its importance, overall safety, and prosperity of our nation as a whole. Put both private and government contractors to task repairing our existing infrastructure, incorporating structural changes vital to the implementation of new infrastructure. We must implement green technologies wherever possible as our guiding principle. The guiding principle in the layout and implementation of the high-speed rail system must be to most effectively and efficiently connect our existing infrastructure to the most critical future infrastructure. That being Earth to space, space to space, space to Earth, and interplanetary transport of people and goods. The current plan for a national high-speed rail system is a good start. However, its current schedule of implementation is too slow and is missing a few critical interconnections vital to the success of this new system and maximizing the benefits afforded to the population. The current plan for high-speed rail main priority is to tie together our largest population centers and taking advantage of the spaces in between lanes of our interstate systems. This is certainly the right approach. These additional tie-ins are all located near or in large population areas or near existing interstate systems. This makes the additional cost minimal while the benefits are enormous. The greatest benefit to the country with the smallest investment is in my hometown, Wilmington, Ohio. This is why. 1. Current planned route for high-speed rail is rail running up Interstate 71 from Cincinnati to Columbus. Wilmington is located about halfway between the two. 2. Located just off I-71 is the main hub for Armdale Transfer, the nation's largest trucking company. 3. Located a handful of miles from Armdale Transfer, just on the other side of Wilmington is an air park formerly occupied by Airborne Express, followed by DHL, and now by no one. While the airpark doesn't currently support commercial air travel, it is one of the 5 airparks in the U.S. large enough to support landing space shuttle-type vehicles. With approximately 25 miles of additional rail, we tie the interstate system, the nation's largest trucking company, aviation, space, and high-speed rail together. By tying the additional connection points to our present scheme significantly increases the advantages gained by its implementation many times over. In addition to the steps laid out, we must also incorporate an education and training element for future jobs for those temporarily employed by these and other major projects. Please watch the healthcare and other animations in this series to connect all the dots to see the big picture. How we return the United States of America back to its #1 status in the world.